This is just a real quick video about an easy way to manage your assignments in raids. When it comes to fights like Yogg, knowing which portal you're meant to be going into, or what order your paladins are meant to be using DSAC on, and a real obvious one is like Algalon, who's using DSACs on stars exploding, who's using bubble and hand of sack on tanks, or tank cooldowns in particular. In what order are they meant to be using them? Then making notes and calling this out as the raid leader absolutely is what most people do. But there's an add-on which is quite popular in retail. Not so sure if it's popular in Classic. But if you haven't heard of it, I'm going to show you it anyway because we've only just started using it as a guild the last couple of weeks. We normally just use weak auras to manage everything. But this is actually quite easy. So the add-on is called Angry Assignments, and basically it will show a list of certain assignments anywhere you want it to show on your screen, and you can output it to the rest of your raid. So if we toggle the window and we was to look at Algalon, for example, who's going to have cooldowns on them, at what time, and who it's going to be cast by. So you can either output this to the group. So if you press it, you can see in the chat box, it literally just sends it out to everyone so everyone can see what's going on. Or you can put send and display. So when you send and display, this will now show this to everybody in your raid, or who you want to see it. And it's incredibly easy to use. So we can set up a new page and call it Algalon DSACs, for example, and then you can literally just go first star, second star, third star, fourth star. So you can then assign your first star saying it was Bob, the second star is going to be Dave, the third star is going to be Big Willie, the fourth star is going to be Little Willie. And now in this order, these are when they're going to use their DSAC. So now you can just accept that, you can send and display. So now you've got it nicely on your screen, really clear for everybody in the raid to see. So now you as the raid leader, it can be particularly useful because now you've got all of your assignments on your screen. You can focus on what you're doing yourself. So as the first star is about to die, you can go Bob, you're first. Second star, Dave. You can very easily keep track of things. Obviously, the extent you take these notes to is obviously on you. You absolutely could have literally a sheet for every single boss, going from Flame Leviathan to assign vehicles all the way through to Algalon. And assignments become particularly important as the content gets more difficult. So as we move into ICC, for example, having clear assignments for who's using what and when, and having it very clearly on the screen for everyone to see, can only be a good thing. Don't get me wrong, most of you are still probably just going to wait for your raid leader to call out it's your turn to do something, but actually understanding who's doing what and when is incredibly important because it allows you to prepare. If you know you're the next person to DSAC, you're already waiting, so you're not going to do it late after the damage comes or anything like that. I'm specifically picking on DSAC users because I'm a paladin, obviously, so I know what it's like when you're halfway through a cast and someone calls for DSAC. At least if you know you're up next, you can be mentally preparing for it. Now, I appreciate this wasn't a particularly long video, but at least if you didn't know about Angry Assignments, you can poke your guild leader and say, oi, we should be using this because it's going to make our fights a lot cleaner. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. Bye.